This is Tamika from Children of Christ Homeschool. I am up at 5 this morning. It's now 5:30, but I've been up since 5 this morning, hence the frog in my voice. Um, but I wanted to share with you my recipe for making the kale chips. My kids love them. I love them. They're a great snack. So I'm up so that I can get started preparing some ready-made snacks that we can just kind of grab and have throughout the day. The radio's playing in the background, so excuse the noise from the radio. But here we go. The first thing I do is add a little bit of avocado oil to the bottom of the pan, and then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit over the kale chips, and then I am going to add the sunflower seeds. Now I like to add the raw sunflower seeds so that they can bake as the kale chips bake, but if you can't find them, roasted sunflower seeds work just as well. Any type of nut that you like. My kids love the crunch of the sunflower seeds with it. So what I do with this is when I'm done, I put it in Ziploc bags, little baggies, just like little bags of potato chips. They keep very well if stored in airtight Ziploc bags, and they will keep probably for about a week, maybe a little bit longer once they're cooked. Once you open up the bag, because it's organic, you do need to use it almost right away. It does not freeze well, so that's the reason I don't buy more than 2 bags. They freeze well only if you plan to saute them. If you plan to use them as chips, no bueno. Okay, they become soggy. Once you take them out of the freezer, they all the water that's frozen to the leaves become like little icicles, and even once you put it into the oven, it just becomes this drawed up soggy mess. So I've learned my lesson from that. So I'm going to go ahead and just sprinkle a little bit into each of these pans. Now it's going to be difficult for me to do this one-handed because I'm also trying to hold the camera, but what I will do is try to come back on with another video of how I made, how many snacks I made and the different types of snacks that I was able to make this morning for our day. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make kale chips, and I'll be right back to show you the finished product. Okay, these are now ready for the oven. I have drizzled them with olive oil. I'm sorry, with avocado oil. And so both pans are ready. What you want to make sure is that you only have enough to cover the bottom of the pan. You don't want to pile the kale too high because you definitely want a nice crisp. You want them to be able to dry out enough so that they're crispy and crunchy and delicious. Now, because I'm using the roasted sunflower seeds, I'm not going to add it to the pan. I'm actually just going to add it to the little baggies that I put together with the kale chips. So if you get the raw sunflower seeds, you definitely can go ahead and add them to it. And the olive oil, add it after you put on either the olive oil or the avocado oil. You want to add it after because you want it to be able to stick to the leaves as it's drying out in the oven. And so as they pick up a leaf, they may get sunflower seeds stuck to it, and they really like that crunch. Okay, so I'll be back to show you the finished product. Okay, while I am waiting for the kale to get done, I went ahead and prepared my fruits and veggies for juicing. I am going to use a handful of the kale greens that I have left over. I've got 2 batches of kale greens in the oven for chips. So I am juicing right now 4 large carrots. Oh, there's the oven. It's done. And I'm juicing 4 large carrots, 2 oranges, 1 green apple, 2 pears, and 2 red delicious apples, along with 2 stalks of celery. I love celery in my juice. However, the kids don't care for the strong celery flavor, so I don't use a whole lot of it. And of course, I'm going to use my kale greens to give it that extra boost. Now, I'm juicing just enough for today. And what I usually add to my juice is my green immunity drink. I use this, and I also use my green superfood super greens. I also have a can of that too that I use. I get this from Whole Foods. It's about $30, and it lasts a very long time depending on how often you use it. But it has about 30 servings. And when I make my juices, I don't have to add a full serving. What I do is I add half a serving to it because I'm already using fruits and veggies, so I don't want to overdo it. But I love the flavor of the powder mixed with the fruits and veggies. And what I do is I add um, maybe just a few ounces of water. So if this comes out to be, say, 20 to 30 ounces of juice, um, which is, pushing it. But anyway, sometimes I do get about 20 ounces, 20 to 30 ounces of juice from this. If I get about that much, then I will probably add about 8 to 10 ounces of alkaline water to it. Alkaline water helps your body to absorb nutrients better. So that's why it's better to use alkaline water when you are juicing, or just in general. It actually is better for you, and but especially when you're juicing, because the purpose of the juicing is to get the nutrients as quickly as possible into your body and into your bloodstream, and the alkaline water helps to